Many students may ask, and some really ask me, about the difference between a PhD thesis or dissertation and a master thesis. What's actually the difference? The first and most important difference is that a PhD dissertation answers an original question. It usually studies something that hasn't been done before. Okay, something unique, something original, something that is new to the literature, that has new significance to the literature or to the field of the study. However, in a master thesis, we are actually just extending a research that has been already done. Okay? We are just adding more, going more in depth for a research that has already been done, that has been already existent in the literature. That's the first difference. The second difference is the thickness, the depth of information. In a PhD dissertation, usually we go into hundreds of pages, okay? And we go into very deep information, looking, especially in the literature section. In the literature section, actually, we go all over prior literature, be it in books, be it in peer-reviewed articles, publications, etc., etc., online sources, academic databases, etc., etc. However, in a master thesis, we are writing some less or much less. If we say hundreds, maybe tens of pages in a master thesis. So the thickness and the depth of information is the second difference between a PhD dissertation and a master thesis. So, Dr. Ayoub, what's the third difference also? The third difference is that in a PhD dissertation, you usually get reviewed by external reviewers before getting to graduation. Okay? So your thesis will be, or your dissertation will be reviewed by your supervisor within your university, and then it's sent to external reviewers. Maybe some of them are known and some of them stay unknown. However, this process is not applicable in the case of a master thesis. Okay? In a master thesis, mostly your supervisor, your professor, will have the final decision on your success or failure or revisions, etc. So that's the third difference between a PhD dissertation and a master thesis. Okay then, what is the fourth difference that I have to talk about here? It's actually, when I remember my PhD dissertation, sometimes I come to tears because it's a very tedious process. It's something that I am very proud of because I achieved that, especially when you do it in a high-class university or high-ranking university. It's actually very hard. You come to cry sometimes because it's very overwhelming. You got lots to do. You have to travel. You got lots to do. Okay, and then when you do it and finalize it, you feel like, oh, I got to something. I did something. However, that's not the case. That's not the case in a master thesis. It's actually a simpler research. It can be an extension of a prior research, and it's a very, maybe, straightforward process. It's not as overwhelming. It's not, you don't feel the same proudness, okay, or the same pride that you achieve as in a case on a PhD dissertation. So simply, that's the fourth difference between a PhD thesis and a master thesis. Okay, how about a fifth difference between a master and a PhD dissertation? Actually, okay, a PhD dissertation, you may have as well throughout this process go into some publications, get articles to conferences, to high-ranking journals, etc. And some universities do not get you to graduate unless you get the stamp of some publications. However, in the case of a master thesis, there would be no need for this to go in. Okay, so simply that's the fifth difference between a PhD thesis and a master thesis. Okay, Dr. Ayoub, I can be your PhD or master dissertation mentor. I am a PhD, CPI, and CMI. Thank you very much. Bye.